Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, sorry, that's crazy. Alrighty. Where we at on here? Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the first live of 2025. And I want to thank you for your patience since I haven't been uploading or going live for over a month and a half, over 2 months. There's been so much stuff going on, and I want to chat with you today about that, plus a lot more. But before I go into that, let me know if you can hear me or not. It may sound a little bit of muffled or scruffled because my neck may be hitting this microphone. But what I wanted to talk to you about was, again, what's been going on with me. And am I going to regret this? Am I going to regret this? We're going to talk more about what this is, but let's go ahead and share this to your community wall. Share this to your community wall. Share this with everybody. With everybody you pretty much know. And we're going to do something a little different this year in regards to making sure we stay on point with our lives. Right? I'm putting this on X right now. I'm live. And we're going to put this on here. But how are you doing? Let me know what time it is. Let me know how the weather is where you are. Hopefully your 2025 is starting off very good. And if not, well, you still got, 9 o'clock? So you got about 13 hours. You got about 13 hours to, get that together. And you got plenty of time to change it. All right, you got plenty of time to change it. What you can do in your own capacity. And doing this right now. We're putting this on Facebook right now. Sharing it to my group. And boom. But regret. Am I going to regret this? Is walking on this treadmill. So last I left off with you is that I've been dealing with this plantar fasciitis in my right foot, and upon going to YouTube to look at the possible origins of it and what I can do to rehab it, I came across a lot of different exercises, and some of them have helped, some of them didn't. But one thing that I tried to do is like the caveman method, right? If you can't heal it, then just beat it to death. Pause. And just trying to walk on the treadmill, or just walk more frequently, or whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to just kind of do what I used to do, or still sometimes do with different injuries, but try to just caveman method and just walk through it literally. But after I finished walking, my feet hurt so bad, my foot hurt so bad, sometimes both of them. And I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of this. To feel pain, the first thing you feel when you get out of bed, when your feet touch the ground, it's very discouraging. Very discouraging. It sets the tone for the rest of the day, right? Where it's like just pain. That's the first thing that you feel when you wake up. It doesn't really make for the rest of your day to be enjoyable or look forward to. But with that being said, I still look for different rehab exercises. So I came across this Dr. Berg video sent to me by none other than Miss Robin. Thank you, Miss Robin. Go ahead and subscribe to her channel, Robin's Nest Radio. And this Dr. Berg video was talking about different deficiencies that could contribute to that. And talked about deficiency in vitamin D3. And you know what? I hadn't been taking my vitamin D3 subs. So I increased taking that. And of course, I'm just giving you the sped up version of what I learned, through that video. But the moment I started doing that, after a couple of days, I started to feel some relief. Also, in combination too, finally got a tennis ball and started rolling that across my foot while the tennis ball's on the ground and my heel is on top of it, and just rolling my foot across the top of the tennis ball. And what that has done, or what it mimics to me, is the myofascial massage release, where it's like a deep tissue massage. And it has helped. It has helped. Now, am I going to regret this? Am I going to regret walking on this treadmill today? Am I going to regret it? Because usually, within like an hour or two after I finish walking, my foot just thrives, right? But I was able to walk yesterday. Right now I'm on 2.0. It's just flat, no incline. I'm walking with these Hokas, these Bondi 8s. And if you haven't got a hold of any Hokas, if you're looking to get some type of foot relief, I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I would suggest it, right? I would suggest them because it's like walking on a Bosu ball. If you've ever stood on the Bosu ball, and I'm talking about the round part, not the flat part, that's what it mimics to me when I feel when I'm walking. So I have to take my time and try to not stomp so hard when I go heel to toe. Some people are tippy toe walkers. I have to be a heel to toe walker because, one, my feet are big. I wear size 15. And when I walk, my feet are going to hit something. And I've learned over the years to slow down when I walk heel to toe, because if I'm moving too fast or I start doing tippy toe walking, it's just bad. So constantly having to readjust my walking, readjust my footing and my foot placement, and being more conscious about when I walk. And these hocus pocus has helped out a lot. But that tennis ball on the floor, I finally did that after weeks and weeks and weeks of just being stagnant on it. Like, no, it's not that serious. But I finally broke down, ended up getting a tennis ball and started doing that kind of, massage at night or just random times during the day if I'm sitting down and I'm just got my socks on, and I do that. Also, just different type of dorsiflexion stretches and holds that was recommended by, Dr. Berg. But with all that, I'm doing better. So I didn't know if I was going to regret doing this. I didn't know if I was going to regret walking on this treadmill. I still don't know. I may still feel some type of way when I'm done with this. I may still feel some type of pain when I'm done walking. I'm not 100% for sure. I hope not. But if it's anything like yesterday, it wasn't that bad. I did feel some type of pain or a little bit of pain after walking yesterday, but it wasn't as bad as it has been in the previous weeks. Because I want to get back to just walking. That helps out a lot. Like, I have a stationary bike here in my home gym where I'm at right now. And the bike is cool, but we walk more. I walk more than I do, riding a bike. I'm walking from, the car to the store, which I have to go today. So shout out to Sam's. Hitting up Sam's later on today for some stuff. But, I have to walk, so I walk more than when I'm sitting down. So I have to get this under control. I have to get this plantar fasciitis under control. People, comments and research, when I'm looking at people who have gone through this, it takes a while. And a while is very subjective to the individual. All right, so with that being said, if you have any type of, let's say, injury, do your research on what you can do to help. Entertain all options. Not saying to commit, but entertain them, because you never know which one will really be the one that helps you out. Something that you may not even thought of. And when I was sent that video, I wasn't even thinking about a nutrient deficiency or imbalance when it comes to, this plantar fasciitis. And I was like, oh, okay. But I can say at the moment that I did adjust my supplement intake, nutrient intake, vitamin intake, whatever you want to call it, I started to feel better. Now, I'm not 100% cured or feel 100% better, but I feel good enough to do this. I wasn't able to, didn't even think about it. Let me take that back. I had been thinking about walking, but it just seemed so far because of the pain that I felt in my foot instantaneously. All right. And it's discouraging, operating at, I would say maybe like 65, 70% right now. I think people like to use a trigger word when it says it's humbling, so I guess I'll just say that since I can't think of any other word, phrase. It is a humbling experience, because you have to be a little bit more methodical in whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I have to be more methodical in regards to working out, in regards to walking, just day-to-day life. And after a while, you get tired of overthinking because you are in pain. When I had my hamstring injury at the end of 2020, and it took all 2021, for the most part, 2022, and 2023. Going through that healing process possibly could have accelerated if I would have reached out a lot more. If I would have reached out, reached out more and really tried to see what was going on with my hamstring, I probably could have accelerated that healing, could have accelerated the rehab and recovery, but it's a lot of what if-isms. But we're here today and you just learn. You learn. So what I learned from that is to do more research and to respond to the rehab exercises a lot quicker and more consistent, right? And that's one thing that I hadn't been doing. So consistency is on everybody's mind at the top of 2025 when it's new year, new me. I got new fitness goals or what may have you. Now, personally, I didn't set any goals in regards to fitness goals for 2025. Maybe I should have, but in my years of kind of doing the New Year's, new me type of thing, I less subscribe to that as opposed to the continuation of what I was doing from the year before, right? So what didn't I accomplish in 2024? Still go on with that. Don't just erase that and then go to something completely, let's say, new, a reset, a restart, or it may have you, or add on to what I haven't accomplished in 2024. So that's how I personally look at it, and that's what I'm personally doing. My goal in 2024 overall was to bench 405 on the flat by my birthday. Shout out to everybody who shouted me out on my birthday, but my birthday was December 15th. I didn't necessarily post it or whatever. That's a whole other different conversation for an entire different day. But about a week before my birthday, I went for 405. I got stuck on a halfway point, but I had a spotter and they gave me a little, assistance. Still assistance nonetheless, whether it be a lot or a little, it's still an assistance nonetheless. But I've been a lot closer than what I was beforehand, right? So did I get 405? Did I bench 405 before my birthday or on my birthday or whatever goal that I set? I would say no. I did not hit my goal. I did not hit my goal because I didn't do it myself. And I understand why I didn't do it. I did slack off towards the last 3 months of the year. So that's why I didn't hit that goal. But because it's 2025, that does not mean that I do not want to still accomplish that goal I set in 2024. So, you know what? The train is going to keep going. The train is going to keep going. And I'm a lot closer to a clean 405 bench press than what I was this time last year. So it's still progress nonetheless. And what progress did you make in 2024, right? So with the new year, new me, fitness goals and new goals, and it's cool to have new goals. It's very cool to have new goals, but what's even cooler is the completion of the goals from the previous year that you did not accomplish that are still in the works. Those things aren't null, those things aren't dead, and it's cool if you don't have any New Year's resolutions because you are still focusing on what goals you set in 2024. So don't get too overwhelmed by the feeling to have to do something new, to have to do something different, to do something more than what you have been already doing. Whatever you can handle is whatever you can handle, and whatever you can't. Just know the differences between the two, right? And it's cool to experiment. It's cool to test the waters, just like when you are lifting weights, right? You pretty much know what you can and can't do in regards to, let's just say, bench pressing, since that's what we talked about earlier. Let's say bench pressing. You pretty much know that, all right, my max, let's say right now for me is a good, for safety, 385 on the flat, right? So I pretty much know for sure, I can do that, but I still want to go to 405, right? I still want to go to 405. Now, I may not can do 405 without a spot, but I still have to try to see where I'm at. So that's an example of just trying something different and not being afraid to at least try something different, but to get stuck on it, you don't have to. You can stick to where you're at, for the time being, but just know every now and then you can push yourself to accelerate, to excel, or whatever, and that's fine. We all are supposed to, push ourselves to try to do better. But my mentality is don't try to break your neck to do it, though. Don't overwhelm yourself to do it. Don't over stress yourself, causing extra anxiety to do it. It'll get done. Just know this, it'll get done. We're only in our first full week of 2025, and it feels like December of 2025 in regards to the pressure that you hear from social media or the pressure that you may see when it comes to New Year's resolution. It's like, okay, December 31st, 11:58 p.m., we're all celebratory, we're, doing the countdown, and then January 1st, 2025 at 12 a.m., now it's this barrage of, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing this in 2025, you should be doing this in 2025, you should be doing that in 2025, you should be doing that in 2025. That's all you see, as if 2024 did not happen, as if 2024 did not happen in regards to the goals that you set, and the goals that you set as if you completed every single one of them. And the fact of the matter is there are goals that were not accomplished. You didn't reach your goals, and that does not make you a failure. That does not make all your efforts in 2024 null and void. That does not mean that at all. It just means that we need to continue to work. We need to be continuous and consistent in accomplishing our goal. Some things may take longer than what we thought, and that is okay. And that's okay. This bench press is taking a lot long. I wouldn't say a lot longer. Let me rephrase that. My 405 bench press goal has taken a lot more than what I initially thought. And let me break that down on more. I didn't realize how much my forearm played a role into bench press and my grip strength, right? And when I noticed that, I started training that a lot more, a lot better, more efficiently, and saw the difference, saw the increase in my bench press by strengthening my grip strength, right? Rear delt work, right? We spend a lot of time when we press, we think about our front shoulders or anterior deltoids, and we're putting so much here, but we're not loading up on your rear delts. We're not training the rear delts. And when I say we, I mean me. I wasn't training my rear delts, and I started training my rear delts, right? Started training them a little bit more efficiently, consistently, and built up that posterior muscle, those posterior muscles in the whole back, rear delt, trap complex, and that helped increase my bench press. So now, each of these things from forearms to rear delts, can I measure how much it increased my bench press by, right? Like, okay, because I strengthened my forearms, my bench press increased by 5 pounds. No, I wasn't measuring it like that, but you notice things. You notice when you, I noticed like when I was bench pressing, I wasn't as shaky on the lift off. I wasn't in so much discomfort, like my wrists weren't discomfort when I would bench, right? I began to become more confident on the descent, on the negative. I had a lot more control. My stabilizers, my rear delts, along with building up my rear delts, my lats, right? Different exercises to strengthen your lats, your upper lats, your lower lats. You know, am I training them in the striations that they grow, you know, left to right, as opposed to north and south. All those things, you know, matter. Leg positioning, foot positioning, you know, on the bench, back, arch, chest arch, all these different cue points to continuously work on, right? And repetition is learning. So doing these exercises to improve, to increase my bench press has helped, and I had to open my mind to entertain different possibilities, different exercises, different workouts to strengthen these auxiliary muscles or stabilizer muscles that I did not think that had anything to do with the bench pressing, but they did. And I can say from the end of 2022, when I set that in my mind, I'm like, okay, by the end of 2023, you know, I want to be a lot more confident within my bench press. I want to go for that. And then at the end of 2023, after reaching that one, I said, okay, by the end of 2024, I want to definitely, you know, have a 405 bench press. And that was plenty of time to achieve that. I wasn't that far off. I've never been that far off. My max is always kind of between 365, 375, somewhere around there. Personally, I've just been lazy. I've just been lazy when it's come to that, where it's just not being consistent enough and not really honing in on that goal of bench pressing 405. I may say it, but I may not mean it all the way. I may not commit to it all the way. And once I started committing to it, then I started committing to different exercises, started committing to entertaining, or started committing to researching the people who do have a 405 bench press, right? What are things that they've done, and constantly just looking at things to, okay, let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I can improve on doing this, or, you know what I'm saying, doing that. Some things work, some things didn't, and everything ain't for me, right? It's like everything ain't for you. Whatever it is that I may suggest to do for increasing your bench press may or may not work for you, but it's just options, right? We have to entertain all types of options. There are things that you can and you have to be consistent with, right? You don't just do things that haven't been researched or have any social proof. So just with that being said, I'm on 25 minutes right now. My foot on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst, it's maybe like at a low 2 right now. But other than that, still don't know if I'm going to regret this when I get off of here. So it's kind of like, you know what, let's just ride it out. I'm gonna just go for 30 minutes. I'm gonna go for 30 minutes and then check in with me on my community post when I'll give you an update later of, hey, if I'm in pain or not as far as with my foot, but I'm gonna make sure I do my tennis ball therapy, my tennis ball massage, rehab, whatever you want to call it, and make sure I'm consistent on my vitamin intake, making sure I'm hydrated too. I know I haven't been really drinking a lot of water, just consistent as I had been early in the year, and still getting over the holiday turn up. Hopefully, your holiday season from Thanksgiving to Christmas to the New Year was all good for you and went the way how you wanted it to go. I keep looking forward because I'm looking at these NBA highlights that I haven't seen. I think my Lakers, did we win? I don't think we lost a couple nights ago on a terrible inbound play. Stupid. But whatever, Lakers, number 4 or 5 in the West. It's still Lake Show all day. I'm also selling my merch, my more weight hoodies. As you see, this is worn. I'm not busting out any new hoodies or anything like that. This has been washed for maybe about 3 years. I've had this for about 3 years. So successfitnessstore.com. Got hoodies, shirts, coffee mugs, more coffee mugs. Also have my ebook of what should I meal prep? It's got recipe for a great high protein meal prep. But my foot's feeling okay. Okay, 1 mile, 27:43. We chased the pass a lot of times today. And I mean that from, I remember I could hit a mile in like 9:43 in regards to running. But this is the first step. In order to run, you gotta walk first, right? So this is my version of crawling. When I say you gotta crawl before you walk. Eventually I wanna get back to consistently jogging like I used to. There's a lot of things that have fell off. A lot of things have fallen off, in 2024. Excuse me. And you have to realize, like, maybe this is one of the factors that did affect you to not accomplishing your goal. And to get as close as I did is still a testament to determination. Dealing with grief in my fitness journey has been something that I've been dealing with since my cousin passed in April 2024. And it's insane that I'm looking forward to his anniversary in a weird way. From this standpoint, it's like soon as January 1st hit at 12:01 a.m., I'm like, man, in April it'll be 1 year. And I even gotten to the second day in January, but it's like how your mind just goes there. And it felt like I left my cousin in 2024. Like what happened didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like just because it's a new year, everything that happened in 2024 did not happen. It's like, no, this is real. So that ties into what I'm saying about fitness goals into 2025, as if 24 didn't happen and you didn't accomplish your goals, or since you didn't accomplish your goals, that means, okay, wash those clean, start off something new completely January 2025. And it's like, no, I still had stuff in 2024 I did not accomplish. I'm going to carry that over into 25 and work on that until I accomplish that. So, and that type of mentality is what I was thinking about with, even with my cousin. And it's like, okay, we're so used to just wiping a clean slate in 2024 when the new year hits and 2025 hits and it's, 2024 didn't happen. And I'm here to tell you it did. It did, and I still feel the effects of it. And that can explain my ups and downs in regards to my content, fitness journey. You're just dealing with that. There are days where I feel good. There are days where I feel better. There's also days where I don't at all, where I don't want to do anything because the emotions are so high, right? I stay to myself. I keep to myself. I don't feel like sharing. I don't feel like posting, because, once you give some effort and try to do something, then these algorithms, they may not be showing content to the people who, to subscribe. For instance, in this moment right now, I've been online for 30 minutes, right? 30:03, 30:04. I've had 2 people in and out of this live, right? And ever since, and all the time, not ever since, but whenever I set up these lives, I set it up to a point to where if you are not subscribed, you cannot comment, right? And I've noticed how the live viewers are slim to none. But the moment that I leave it open for everybody to comment, if they choose to, now I have 15 to 20 to 30 people in my live, right? But those people don't comment. They don't have to comment. But it's things like that when you are putting forth an effort that for whatever reason, the power that breathe, the powers that be, the almighty algo, if you don't do what it wants you to, your content is getting shadow banned, right? Or it's not being distributed out to who it needs to be distributed out to, right? And it's crazy because you never know what type of mood this algo is in. I call it the spirit. You know what I mean? Because y'all programming something that I don't say you don't understand. I'm just saying that I don't understand it when it still should just be a free market. If I'm live, why isn't it going to my subscribers? Why isn't no notification going to my subscribers? And that notification could be going to my subscribers. My subs could just be doing something else right now. This may not be something that they're interested in. Whatever, all types of stuff. But one thing that does remain sure, one thing that does remain true is that when I leave my comments exclusively for my subscribers, I hardly has anybody in my live, right? That has been consistent. And when I leave it open, when I leave the comments open for any and everybody to comment, then I have more people in my live. So there's, so one thing that I can assess from that is that depending on what setting I have in regards to subscribers and non-subscribers commenting, or the ability to comment or not comment, is that result based off of YouTube. They're going to distribute this video out accordingly to if I allow outsiders to comment on it, right? So just going back to when you do set up something and you're trying to create content, go for it, there's a mountain to climb, which to me it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So with that being said, that explains why there are times where I go live and there's times where I don't go live, because I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't feel like dealing with that mess. But I already know what I'm going to do with this content when I'm done with it, or when I'm off of here, off of live, and I'm going to use it for content that'll last throughout the entire month. So shout out to Opus Clip. If you are looking to create more content from your existing content, I would suggest Opus Clip. You can use my discount code within the description, and that's how I do a lot of my shorts. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to throw this into Opus Clip, and it's going to break this down into probably 25 to 30 1-minute clips, and they will be uploaded throughout the entire month. So getting back into creating content and scheduling content and uploading content, it is a lot. You have to be on point with that. And dealing with grief in my fitness journey, that transfers over into my business life or creator life or whatever you want to call it. A lot of times I don't feel like doing all of that, right? Because it's a lot of effort to get no results, right? Or little results. I did some bench pressing videos and tricep videos in regards to strengthening that. Following, I used Video IQ. And it's helped out, a little bit. It's cool. But I'm looking for a little bit more. And that has to do with me, right? It has nothing to do with Video IQ. That has something to do with me and learning, learning how this system continues to operate, how it continues to reinvent itself. And this system, is the system of YouTube, right? the system of YouTube is constantly changing. You have to respond to what your audience wants. So as I close, as I land my plane, I'm on 36 minutes. What is it that you want to see from me? What is it? I'm not saying that I will do it. I am entertaining if I am able to do it, and if I'm not. And, I'm still going to do what I want to do just as well too. And I just live with those results. And if those results are, okay, nobody's into my live or on live with me right now because I have the checkbox checked of, okay, only subscribers can comment, then so be it. You know what? Then so be it. But what type of content do you want to see from me in 2025? What type of content? How much more? How much less? Do you want to see more or less of these? I'll take in, considerations. Do you want to see more or less of home gym workouts? More or less client workouts? Just let me know. I cannot make what you want or what you would like to see if it's not communicated with me. So when I'm posting on, the community wall, when I'm posting just any video, please leave a comment. You know what? Holler at me. Just connect with me right here. You don't have to go to Instagram if you don't want to. You don't have to go to Facebook if you don't want to. But if you are on Facebook, you can join my Facebook group, Success Fitness Family. But I'm trying to keep you here on this platform because this is how YouTube works. This is how social media works. They don't want you directing people offline, right? That's just how it is. And if you do, they tend to, let's say, not populate your content as much anymore. So these are lessons that I learned in 2024. This is a game that is being played. I have a choice whether to continue to play it or not. And kind of like Squid Games, I'm choosing to play. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great 2025. And again, just leave a comment in the comment section of what videos you want to see more or less of. Leave me a comment on my community wall of content you want to see more or less of. And I'll give you an update on how my foot feels later on during the day, since I did walk on the treadmill for 36 minutes, and I still don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. So I appreciate you. Have a happy 2025. Have a blessed 2025, and hopefully I see you again soon this week going live. Peace out.